this is Owen. Welcome to my channel. A lot of you have been asking for installation steps for Linux, and a lot of you have actually DM'd stating that you guys are actually Windows users. So the primary operating system you use is either Windows or it's actually macOS. And you've asked me for solutions in which you don't want to actually let go of the Windows or the macOS installation, but you want an easy solution which doesn't take a lot of effort in terms of trying and installing Linux and trying it out on your local system. There's also been a lot of people asking me about the distros, which I actually suggest. So that I think is based upon the video I made on Instagram. By the way, if you don't follow me on Instagram, you can go follow me on Instagram as well, where there are a lot of short form videos which I make. Now, so essentially this is a two-part issue, right? The first thing that you need me to tell you is what is the easy way in which you can probably not do a full installation of Linux, but to get your hang as to how Linux actually works. So you need maybe a virtual solution. You need an easy solution by which you can actually make things work. The other part of the question, I think, is which distro to go to. Now, the distro bit of it is slightly personal, and the reason it's personal is because depending upon which operating system that you prefer, what do you prefer in an operating system, the number of distros that you have in Linux are huge. And by that I mean some are actually Debian based installs, some actually are Red Hat based. So in terms of the installation, in terms of distros, you'll need to actually try out a few and figure out as to what you like. I personally like Ubuntu, and the reason I like Ubuntu is because first of all, they have a server variant. They also have a core variant, which is pretty small, which is lightweight, and you can probably spin up like 6-7 of these on a Mac and get away with it, right? So if you want to set up, let's say, a Kubernetes solution or something, in that case, that kind of makes things a little simpler, right? So having said that, let's do this. On this particular video, we'll go ahead and I'll show you how to actually get a distro going, and an easy way in which you can go ahead and learn, or rather just install Linux side by side with your existing operating system. All right. Now to actually start installing, what we'll need to do is we'll need to actually open a browser. By the way, I use Firefox. And the reason I use Firefox is just because of privacy issues. You should see it coming up now. I also don't use... Okay. So the first thing we'll need to do is we'll need to actually go to Ubuntu, right? So if you go to the Ubuntu website, you'll find that the first thing you get to is download or get Ubuntu. But this is not the way in which we'll do the install. For example, if you just want to try out Linux and all that, you can of course go ahead and you can kind of do an install this way if you want to spin up a virtual machine, but I'll show you an easy way, which is actually much more easier in terms of having to install a virtual machine, etc. And you can also have a way in which you can play around with different versions of Ubuntu. So for example, let's say you want to stick to the LTS releases 22.0, 24, etc. So an easy way is, instead of doing this, right, just search for Ubuntu Multipass. Okay, so what this allows you to do is, for example, if you go to this this particular site, which is canonical.com/multipass, and let's accept the cookies here, and then we'll do an install. Now you can see that it installs something called Multipass. It's almost like for example, a cloud init environment that you have. If you go down, select where you want to install it, right? Which is your operating system that you're using, whether it's Linux, whether it's Windows, whether it's macOS. In my case, it's Mac. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on download Multipass for macOS, and I'm going to save it on the desktop by default. So once I download it, essentially what I'll need to do is just go ahead and install it. So this download is finished. You can see it's actually done. It's a small package, by the way. If I just click on this, it'll ask me Multipass Ubuntu at your fingertips, etc. Just click on continue again, which is fine. Now this is a license agreement which shows you as to what are the licenses, terms, etc. that you have. That's fine. You can just go ahead and click on continue. Click on agree to the licensing term, and then you can do an install. By default, it's going to use about 435 MBs of space on your computer, which isn't much technically. So you can just do a default install. It's going to ask you for your password, which you'll need to type in, of course, which I have typed in, and now it's going to write the files to your desktop, right? I mean, write the file to your operating system. Now we'll just wait for a minute until this finishes. You can see that the install was successful. Now all you need to do is just open up Multipass. So I'll go to my applications folder, which is here, and just search for Multipass, which in my case LM is going to be this one right here. So the first time you can open the application, it sort of looks like this. Let's also get rid of the installer. I don't need this anymore, but this is Multipass. You can see that it's a very lightweight application. You've got it installed probably in under a minute. It's that simple, right? And now you have various versions of Ubuntu you can try out. So you for example, the images which are there, Ubuntu 24.04 LTS. You've also got 25.10, 22.04 LTS, as well as 26.04 LTS. So if you want to install, let's say you want to install this particular version, which is 22.4. Now the easy thing you can do is just click on launch. And you can see that it's going to give it a name by default. It's calling it Popular Bull, and it is downloading the image as we speak, right? So it's actually 15% done and all that. Now, if you go to this icon, which is just below the catalog, wherein it says instances equal to 1, and you can see what this particular installer is doing. So by default, it's installing Popular Bull. Popular Bull is this particular VM that it's trying to install here. Now, what this also allows you to do is once this is installed, you can click on this and you can actually customize, you can see the details of the install, etc. Right now, we'll just wait for this to finish installing. I'll go back to this, and you can see that here at the bottom it's already done, right? It's done the install. It's saying starting Popular Bull. So, and you can see the state is actually launching. So compared to a virtual machine, this hardly took like 5 minutes of total time up till now for it to run. You can see the memory usage, you can see the disk usage, you can see the image that is being used, as well as the private IP that you've got, which is 192.168.2.11 if you want it in a public IP as well. Now, if you want to just connect to it, in that case, all you need to do is just click on this particular name. So if I click on the name, by default, I have an option here called shells. I can go to shells and I can do an open shell, allow, and you can see that within a minute or two, I'll be connected to this particular instance. So this is the easiest way in which you can get an install of Linux going. This hardly took a minute. You can run multiple commands here. For example, top, you can run top to see if it's running or not. Uptime, of course, we know that this actually started just about a minute ago, so there's not going to be much in it. But anyway, this is how you kind of start this particular install. Now, let's say that you want to actually customize an install, right? You don't want to actually run the default install. Let's say you want to customize a particular install. And I'm going to be running the same version, which is 22.04 LTS. In that case, what I can do is before running it, I can actually go ahead and customize. So for example, if I want to give it a name, instead of the name that the system has picked up, I can give it my name. For example, I can call it test VM or something, right? Just to differentiate and to kind of figure out as to what this is. Now, number of CPUs or cores that I have, by default I have 8. I can assign 8. I don't want to assign 8 because it's just a normal VM. It doesn't have a lot going on here. Memory, if I want to actually change the memory, I can do that. I can assign it more memory, I can assign it less memory, etc. I'll give it to 1 by default. And also the disk, right? So here by default 5 GB has been assigned, and which is fine. 5 GB is more than enough for this particular install, but if you want, you can actually change it as well. Now this is where you can change whether you want to connect it to the bridge network. Now this is the only thing you'll not be able to unset once you set it. So if you want to actually set up a bridge network, you can do that by default. If you want to add a mount, so for example, let's say on your laptop or desktop, you actually have a shared folder or a folder you want to share across within the virtual machine, you can do it from here. Now, let's say you've made your changes. The only thing I've changed is essentially the name. There's nothing else which has changed. In that case, here at the bottom, I can do launch and configure next. And you can see that launching test VM starting AYAN test VM is actually going on. So if I go back to my instant pages now, you'll find that there are two VMs essentially. One is the AYAN test VM and the other one is the popular build we had last time around. So you can see that it's running now. So it says it's launching. So we'll just give it a minute for it to kind of do its thing. All right. So now you can see that both the instances are up and running. You can see popular bull, which is running. You have this particular instance, which is running. The only difference between these two are this one actually has a custom name and this one is the default name which came with the install. If you want to check the IP address, this one is 192.168.2.12. This one is 192.168.2.11. If you want to connect to any of these instances, again, just click on the name, which is going to be this one. And here where it says Open Shell, you can go ahead and click on Open Shell, right? So this gives you a very easy way in which you can try out the core versions of Linux on your system. The only thing that is there is if you do an install this way, the GUI isn't there, so you don't have a graphical user interface, but then you can always install it later on. That's not such a big deal. But the one thing in which I like about this is just the ease of management, right? Just the ease of how quickly you can spin up a VM and get it up and function. This is one of the easiest ways in which you can try out Ubuntu on macOS. So the application that I'm using, it's called Multipass. All the links and everything to do with today's setup, I'll be mentioning in the description box down below. So you'll find it there. All you need to do is just go that click and do the install. That should be easy enough. In case you have any questions or queries, reach out to me either through DM or you can leave a comment on my videos and that way I can get back to you. Thank you and good night.